and talk about the shift in the economy over the last year. And especially since the last few months, since the whole banking industry has been a little uncertain, we're seeing more and more people looking for jobs, being laid off. And I don't know where you hear, at least in the tech industry, we're being hit pretty hard because we've overhired probably the last couple of years. And so, I don't know, last year, people were, you couldn't even find people. They wouldn't respond to you. They had 3 or 4 job offers. It was really difficult. And now all of a sudden, I'm getting hit up, I don't know, several people a day, 20 a week. It's a lot. Everybody's saying, my neighbor's looking for a job, or my friend just got let go, or my children are graduating from college and can't find jobs. It's a lot. So we want to kind of talk about that today. And also we want to talk about, I started my business in 2008, which was, some of you may not have been around then in the workforce, but it was a really hard time. We had 3 major companies go out of business that year. We had Kimunda, Circuit City, and Land America, and we went through a major recession. And so I was starting my business and I was very scared. And there may be, but I went with it, and it turned out to be kind of a blessing in disguise. We kind of want to talk about that. If you do find yourself in that situation, maybe you want to hang your own shingle. I'm going to talk about that a little bit too.
Really quickly, so you think the industry overhired and everyone got excited. Job offers are coming fast and furious, people leaving college. So the folks who had been around, who had seen this before, we had that conversation, they might understand a little bit more. But the folks who are just coming out of college now, or they had come out in the last year or two, they don't know, they may not have realized that this day was coming.
Yeah, well, as a recruiter, I've been in this industry for a while. It follows the economy very closely. Anytime you have the type of wage inflation we've seen in IT over the last couple of years, there is no way you can sustain that. You just can't pass those costs on for so long. And so I've been waiting, like, okay, here it comes. And it's, and it's still coming a little slow. And hopefully it's spotting me out, but we don't know. We really don't know how long this is going to last. Have we reached the bottom? What's in store? But we can prepare for it. And that's what we want to do.
So today we're here talking about, so Ro, you guys have had a conversation about, if you've been let go, there are opportunities out here that a person may not have thought about in the past, because you have a different hiring philosophy than a lot of people.
Right.
Yours is different.
Right.
You hire for a person and you find spots.
Correct.
Which was a kind of radical idea for me.
Correct.
Yes, correct.
We've been doing it forever.
So it sort of works. Now a lot of people who are out there looking for opportunities, they're looking at what they were used to. And now you're saying there's some other opportunities. Could you touch on that a little bit?
Yeah, and before I do that, I think I want to take just a little bit of a step back and look at the past 3 years. So, being a technology consulting company, when COVID happened, what really happened with IT folks was every IT person probably on the planet got a phone call that said, we need to enable all of our people to work from home. And that it happened in a period of days. And so we had probably 6 months to a year where companies were figuring out how to get everyone home and all of the technology that was necessary to do that. And so what happened was IT people were really, really in demand, and they were making really good salaries. And we saw this massive spike in salaries. And a lot of companies really hired a lot of people. Certainly you saw that. We saw it with Facebook, we saw it with Microsoft, all the big tech companies. And so what happened was we had a good 1.5 years, 2 years where people were really in demand, making really, really great salaries. And then really what's happened in the past 6 months is the economy has now kind of taken a bit of a nosedive. People are starting to come back to the office. And now a lot of those positions that were created are going away. And so if you were someone that was hired in that peak, you got hired at a salary that was probably really I don't want to say it was overinflated, but it was probably higher than it would have been 2 years ago.
Absolutely.
Yes. And so now all of those people are not all, but a lot of those people have been let go, and they're trying to figure out what to do. So what we're seeing that we haven't seen before is people reaching out to us directly saying, hey, I've been let go. I've lost my job. I've got this set of skills that may translate to what you're doing. Can I come on board? We're seeing recruiters sending us resumes unsolicited, which we have never seen before, or not in many, many years. And we're sort of in a position where we're looking at the economy and saying, okay, we're still pretty busy and we still have project work, but we don't know when that's gonna fall off,
Mhm.
with IT people being let go. What can happen is the major projects get put on hold and companies like us get impacted. We have not been impacted yet, but we're being very, very cautious. So where a year ago, if you had come to me and said, hey, I've got this great person that culturally will fit really, really well, I probably would have said, we're going to bring them on board. We'll figure out where they fit. Now we're being a little bit more cautious and we're saying, you know what? We maybe might want to subcontract them and put them to work on a project, but not hire them as a full-time employee. And that's because I don't ever want to be in a position where I have to look at a full-time employee that's supporting their family and say, I'm sorry, I have to eliminate your position. And we have never done that as a company.
That's a
I-
tou- that's
a tough
man,
conversation.
that's a tough
Yeah.
one right there. People, they're part of the family. Now it's not just dollars and cents.
Yeah.
You're one of us.
Yeah, and when I hire someone, and this is true throughout the organization, we're not just hiring them, we're hiring their family. And that doesn't mean their families come to work for us, but what that means is that every decision that I make as a CEO could impact that person's family. And so I'm very, very careful that we're not ever over hiring, because again, I don't want to have that conversation and have someone who's maybe trying to put their kid through college or whatever be impacted.
Here we go. It's the Low and Rose Show here on Mike King Biz Radio.